I can hear you. I don't know. I don't know. It is a mystery. It is truly a mystery. I can indeed. Occam's razor. Usually. I don't know. I have no idea. Yay. Nice. Oh, see you, Pat. See a Pat who appears to be wearing some form of football jersey.
Yeah.
Or perhaps some. All right. I think that's the JV squad.
It is. Oh, So, how things at work? Mm. Okay.
And filling up the grease trap to boot.
There's. Oh, yeah. Dude, how many forums are you part of? Huh? Damn. Kill item. You are loud. Well, might as well have it. You just laugh.
I, uh, I, I think I got kind of aroused by that. No, we don't.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Trekkies and all. This is Exploring Star Trek Discovery. I am your host, Average Joe, the Average Geek, and with me, as always, and one of them is actually on time for this show, Patrick Whitehead and Kevin Stallings. How's it going, fellas? All right. Excellent. All right. So, man, I gotta tell you what, dude. I gotta tell you what. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust a little bit right here. Things might be a little too large, and in charge here. Let me look. Oh, look at that. Oh, look. Watch the magic of prestidigitation. All right, and move chat up. There we go. All right, fantastic. Everything is adjusted properly. I tell you what, today has been a comedy of errors trying to get this show taken care of. I had to completely rebuild my entire OBS stream. Nothing worked at all, but we are now live for your Trekkie amusement. Shut up, Bixby. I'm busy. Guys, it's been one of those days. What's going on, Steven Stott? Welcome to the show. Dude, you are always here. Thank you. So, How's it going, everybody? Patch, you enjoyed your little vacay from work, man? How you enjoy your vacation?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, you
It's
did.
over.
Right. Have you enjoyed any nerdy things while you were on vacation, sir?
Of course. Hell of a lot of anime.
There you go.
And football. Lots of football.
Football. I notice you are wearing your Starfleet Academy Parisi Squares jersey.
Quite.
Right. Well, yep. All vacations have to end, sir. All good things, as they say.
But
Oh yeah. And how about yourself, Kevin? How you been doing, buddy?
Yeah, it's Monday, so
Oh yes.
ready to increase the body count as always.
Right. Well, let's just jump right into it, because guys, this episode, it gave me the feels, man. It gave me the straight up legitimate feels. It really did. What did y'all think of this episode? The War Without, The War Within, episode 14 of the first season of Star Trek Discovery.
Let's see. Possible redemption for a killer? Cool. Awesome Trekkie stuff by terraforming. Hey, that was kind of kick.
Yeah, that was pretty wicked. That was pretty awesome.
That was cool, yeah.
And then at the end,
Okay.
WTF.
Dude. Okay, well, since my channel's getting demonetized on the 20th anyway, because YouTube, let me just say, like, my first thought when Georgiou walked out onto that bridge in a Starfleet uniform at the behest of Admiral Cornwell, my first was, yo, that's fucked. Like, I'm sorry for my language, everybody, because I know the Star Trek community can be a little sensitive about such things, but man, that's wrong. How you gonna do that to my boy Saru? Like seriously, how you gonna do that to my boy Saru? What did y'all think of that?
The cool part was where she walked over to the bridge, and the admiral was laying out the backstory to the whole bridge. Like,
just straight lying.
Straight line, yeah.
Just going, holy crap! Just holy crap,
man.
I love that little side glance that Burnham and Saru gave each other.
Right.
Yeah, we know you're lying.
Yeah, that felt dirty to me. That was just like, whoa, okay. Like, out of all the times, Lorca had, and it's kind of funny how Star Trek Discovery is kind of playing with this idea. Lorca had us going, and did some very un-Starfleet things. As Stephen Stott says, desperate times require desperate measures, and I get that. But this is the first time that I just kind of sat back and went, nope. I mean, this is not a critique on the episode whatsoever. I mean, this is straight up quality writing. But the way it just kind of affected me as a viewer is just like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Nope. Oh, man. It's really rubbed me the wrong way. Like I said, fucked. PHUKT. Fucked. Am I wrong? Am I reading that wrong, or?
No, you're not. It was. Again, it's just.
It's a bad idea. It's gonna blow up in their face.
Yes.
Thank you.
When they try to blow up Kronos, it's gonna blow up in their face.
Now we know the entire Federation Council is on this, or the Starfleet Council is in on this. We don't know the Federation Council, but we know the Starfleet Council is in on this, as Stephen Stott reminds us. But I just, as y'all said, it's gonna blow up in their face. I just don't see this going well. I really don't. As we no doubt saw from the preview for the season finale, there's going to be real kind of headbutting going on between what's going down here. Like, oh man, what a great little twist there at the end. What do you? Yeah. All right, so let's just start over when talking about this episode. Let's go all the way right back there to the beginning. All right. And we're back from the mirror universe. The Federation is losing the war, almost completely lost the war.
Discovery gets sieged. not. Hey, what's up? It got sieged.
It got straight up sieged, Starfleet Spec Ops style. Boop. Like, was that the, dare I say, Makos?
Possibly. I did like seeing the Andorian and the Tellarite though.
Yeah, that was nifty. Like seeing them on a Starfleet crew doing Starfleet things, which, strangely enough, to be founding members of Starfleet, we never see.
Yeah, exactly.
Founding members of the Federation, rather. We never really see that happen. So that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was really, really nifty. Admiral Cordwell's kind of jumping on board and. Okay, well, Steven Saw says it was a Federation because Sarah briefed the Federation. Okay, fair enough. So this is a big deal then. But this siege of Discovery at the command of Admiral Cordwell was fantastic and really cool. And I love how it just kind of took everybody by surprise. To me, what that says is what happened with Ash Tyler, because we know that he was the test bed. He was the first one to go through this species reassignment surgery, this trans-species surgery. It worked. Like, more sleeper agents had to have happened, because the only way they knew is when Sarek jumped on board and mind raped Saru, straight up, mind melded Saru, and that was like, oh, okay, whoa. Like, the Voke transition into the Ash Tyler thing, that test bed was successful and worked multiple times, apparently, and it won the Klingons the war. Corwell called it, man. The Klingons are fighting with no honor. Like, this is a very interesting kind of turning point for the Klingons. With what was going on with Archer and stuff like that, it was a different type of Klingon empire than what we have now. And I'm not talking about the makeup change and stuff like that. Just forget all that. I can hear certain people in certain forums right now just going, but they look different. Like, all right, fine, whatever. Let's set that aside and realize that they are the same Klingons. Now let's have a conversation. So something happened between Archer and now with the Klingon Empire. Like, with this war, this fracturing of the 24 great houses of Kronos, they've lost their honor. It's really rough. Like, the Klingons that we know and we will get to know again in the future, they're not about killing civilians. That's not an honorable thing. They're not going to kill children. That's not honor. So this is definitely a different era in the Klingon Empire, and I wonder what it's going to take to get them back. I mean, part of me is kind of like rah that Kronos just gets vaporized. I know it's not going to happen, but I'm just like, oh yeah, get 'em! Ah! America! Federation! Fuck yeah!
Federation!
Okay, but remember, it's like what Laurel said. The Admiral goes, "What will it take?" She goes, "Conquer us."
Yeah, exactly. Because the way Laurel is like they have tasted your blood. The only thing that will stop them is to be conquered. That's. Ooh, Steven Stott actually has a really good, interesting point right now. Steven Stott goes, I think it is their version of going through a reset like the ancient Vulcans did with the teachings of Surak to embrace logic. That they've reached this point. They overstretched themselves. They lost their honor. They lost In a war to maintain Klingon identity, they lost Klingon identity, and it had getting their asses kicked may have brought that back. That was a very excellent point there, Stephen. Thank you for that. What do you think about that idea? Because that's a really great way of kind of looking at it. In an effort to preserve, in a war to preserve their identity, they lost their identity. What do you think about that, guys?
Well, yeah, all 24 houses right now are currently going, hey, look, how many Federation, lives we can take, the more heads we have, the big, we can pop our chest out saying,
Right.
we are Klingon,
What do Go ahead, Kevin. What do you think? While I'm doing a little search right here, real quick.
Oh, I think it's interesting because to me it seems like we're seeing it's being played out in the Klingon Empire and in the Federation also. They're both losing their identities trying to stay alive. The Klingons have lost their sense of honor in this bloodlust that they're in, and then the Federation has lost its sense of morality and principle, trying to stop the Klingons. There's this plan to like blow up Kronos. Well, that's not Starfleet. That's
Right.
not what they do.
Well,
And I think by the end of it, we're going to see a reset of both of them. Kind of like the Vulcans in Enterprise. We're going to see it come back to, the Klingons taking a step back and saying, "Whoa, we've lost our sense of honor," and the Federation saying, "Whoa, this isn't what we do. We're explorers.
Right,
We
right.
go out here and seek out new life and new civilizations."
And to boldly go where no one has gone before, I guess.
Exactly.
You were going to say something, Pat?
Well, in the sense of the Federation, the whole ideal of exploring, going beyond and everything, seeking out new worlds and everything. You've now met a race who don't give a rat butt about that.
Right.
They're like, you guys killed one of our own. Burnham accidentally taking that dude out. That's all we saw. We saw blood.
Right.
We didn't see you guys going, "Hey, yo, how you doing with the Federation? Let's talk."
Well, it was kind of interesting when what happened with that, with Takuvma's death, and L'Rell's reaction to her conversation with Cornwell kind of elucidated this fact that at the very least, Takuvma wanted to pursue the war honorably, about maintaining the Klingon identity of honor. Yes, the Federation is over encroaching in this kind of cultural encroachment across the Alpha and Beta quadrants. Could be bad for Klingon identity because of the watering down effect of Klingon culture. But at the very least, it was this unified vision of Klingon honor. And L'Rell really believes that. She is a 100% Takuvma true believer. And when she hears the word that the 24 Klingon houses that the Klingon Empire has fractured, it shocks her. When she hears that the Klingons aren't battling honorably. Yeah, she puts up this bravado of, well, this is war, not a children's game with rules. I really felt conflict in the portrayal of L'Rell there. I kind of feel like she is saying that to kind of save face. But you look at her eyes, and I'm glad they adjusted the Klingon makeup so they could actually act in that makeup. It affected her. Did y'all read that?
It affected her in the sense when she splattered out Takuma and everything. Alan went, Takuma was an idiot. Literally said straight up. He had that whole sense of a unified Klingon, but Takuma did it in a dick way though. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
He still, when he met the admiral and they were talking, and he goes, here it comes, and she
Right.
popped out that line. And he goes, yeah, sure, we'll negotiate. The dude already had a plan set in motion. He's like,
He did.
This war is gonna happen. I'm gonna be the catalyst of this war. So watch what I'm about to do.
That's why I've been a firm believer from the very beginning that Michael Burnham did not start this war. That the war was going to happen regardless.
The war was going to happen. The war was going to happen, but Barnum in this sense, Barnum lit, the fuse was lit in this sense.
Right.
Takuma had the candle. Burnham provided the light. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, he was just looking for an excuse. Yeah,
pretty much. He was looking for an excuse.
Yeah, I did like the line where Cornwell and Laurel are talking, and Laurel said, that Takuma said that there was no courage among humans, and she says, but he was wrong about that.
Yeah, that to me that could be very. There's something that happens to a lot of people that have religious fervor, and they get that first seed of doubt. That first seed of doubt leads to another, and to another, and to another, and to another. And then your entire belief system can crack. Regardless of religious belief or whatnot. But sometimes all it takes is that little seed of doubt, and the whole thing can come crashing down. What if this is the seed of doubt? Because one of the things we've talked about in the past is that how I kind of feel that Laurel is going to be instrumental in the ending of this war and the creation of some kind of relations between the Federation and the Klingon Empire, because they don't become friends for a long time. I mean, a long time. Another 70 years or something like that before they actually kind of become friendly with one another to some degree. But they do develop a mutual respect, because remember, in just 10 years' time, there are Klingons hanging out in human bars.
Yeah.
So it something is going to happen there. Something is going to change. And I feel that Laurel and Ash Tyler are going to be instrumental in this culture shift that we are currently watching happen in the Klingon Empire. Just as Burnham and Saru and Stamets and Tilly and our Discovery crew is going to be instrumental in returning Starfleet to what Starfleet's supposed to be. Like Tilly had a wonderful series of lines when she's speaking with Burnham in engineering, and they're prepping the terraforming pods for the mycelial network. How it was like, did you ever expect when you joined Starfleet to be at war? And Tilly didn't even put that into consideration. That wasn't what she thought of. Of course, Burnham had seen war since she was a little girl, so that's pretty much all she's thought of. But it was a very different experience for Tilly. Now, we don't know a whole lot about her history and all, but I imagine it was kind of, peaceful, idyllic. I want to say middle class, but, everybody's middle class on Earth at this point.
Typical Earth.
Typical Earth, kind of happy. Of course, with the foibles and the personal tragedies that befall all people, but typical Earth upbringing where you don't have to want for anything other than the advancement of self, and that drives people to Starfleet. So it's very interesting how Tilly is kind of, in a lot of ways, the audience, like she was at the very beginning, like in the first couple of episodes when we meet her, episode 5 or something like that, and she slipped the first F-bomb in Star Trek, when they're looking at the mycelial network, and she goes, "Oh, this is so fucking cool," which was the most just honest and joyful moment we've probably ever seen in Star Trek. And I love that scene. Not because I cuss like a sailor, but because it was real and it was human. And it's probably the exact same reaction any one of us Trekkies would have in that situation if it were real. Yeah, like Stephen Stott says, Tilly's reaction was very real to the person that has never experienced the realities of war and seen it for the first time. Welcome to the chat, Ozzy. It's a Small World's back. It's a Small World. You're in every episode, just like Stephen Stein. We welcome you. Welcome to the show. Ozzy, welcome to the show. This episode had some very strong thematic things for me. And there were times where I felt myself kind of tearing up. I was getting emotional in sequences. And I got no shame in my game. I'm grown men can cry. It's okay. I mean, it's Trek. It's all right. But when the scene between Ash Tyler and Saru in the very beginning, and Saru's like, and Ash Tyler's like, I killed Culber, like, I need to be in the brig or whatever. And Saru looks at him, just very regal, very Starfleet captain, like Captain Saru. This has to happen. If he doesn't retain command of Discovery, I'm gonna be a little upset. And I love everything about Discovery, but Captain Saru, he needs to be in command of Discovery. It just has to happen. Doug Jones's performance is so good.
It was very Picard-esque what he said to him.
I liked it too, because basically, he goes, I killed your daughter, and Saru kind of said, no, you didn't.
Yeah, he said specifically, Vogue did, and I don't see him here.
In you. Yeah.
I don't see. This isn't Vogue. This is Ash Tyler, and I'm not. And it says, I'm not going to take your freedom. He says your permissions on your permissions on Discovery will be limited, but I'm not going to take your freedom. Man,
it took his badge, dude.
He is a Klingon spy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, Ash Tyler doesn't exist.
But
he just have a Klingon pulled out of his head, so yeah.
Yeah.
So when Saru said that to him, I because to me that just echoed some of the greatest Picard moments. That was Picard, and that was some of the best Janeway moments and some of the best Picard moments. And Cisco, it was just like. It was like a smorgasbord of some of the greatest captain moments in Star Trek coming from Saru. Again, Captain, my Captain. And then just a few scenes later, when Ash Tyler is in the hallway, in the corridor of the Discovery, and he runs into Stamets. Oh, yeah. Guys, could you imagine being Paul Stamets in that situation right there?
It was pissed.
I don't know if I would have had the self-control that came from stomping a mud hole in him, just right there in the street. For those of y'all, when you stomping a mud hole in somebody is a North Carolina colloquialism, and it means exactly what you think it means.
Stop a mud hole and walk her and drive. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but you could see the conflict in Stamets when he was staring at him.
Yeah. Oh man.
I really expected him to punch him.
I watched his,
I did too.
I watched his eyes. I watched Stamets' eyes, man. His eyes jumped to that like 1 quick second. It jumped when he whipped up at him. He was like, "Ooh, you about to get hurt, dog. Let's go."
And I don't think Tyler would have stopped him.
Stephen Stott agrees that he was expecting Stamets to take a swing. And I think Tyler would have sat there and took it on the chin like a man. I really do.
Oh yeah.
The performances between these actors in this episode. Oh, bravo. Bravo. And then we got to go one more scene forward again when Ash Tyler is in the Replimat. You know, and he goes up to the Replimat. And you got all these people just whisper. You know how people are. People suck.
Well, like he walked in the room. He walked into a lively mess hall. Everybody's chatting around. Everybody knows him. As he got to the replicator. Well, I'm gonna say replicator. As he got to the replicator, the voices stopped. Everybody turned. You know.
And then Tilly. Oh, Tilly. I love Tilly. She's amazing. You know,
He's a friend.
she's amazing. And she goes over and this is one of the most real. This is one of the scenes that shows that despite what so many people say out there, and that Star Trek Discovery isn't Star Trek, you know, it's not about the same things that Star Trek is about. Bullshit. I'm just calling it right now. Bullshit. Because that scene when Tilly goes over and sits down across from Tyler, and he goes, "No, it'll be okay." She goes, "No, I don't think it is. I'm just gonna sit here. You can talk. You
Talk if you want to."
And then Detmer comes over and Owosakun comes over and the crew gathers around this individual. It was one of the most beautiful and uplifting scenes I have seen in Star Trek in years.
I love. I don't know if it was Tilly that said it, but one of them said, "Welcome back."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Detmer.
Yeah, he said, "Welcome back."
It was just a beautiful scene, and again, it's like, okay, so I'm feeling for Tyler, and my wife looks over and goes, "Are you buying this? Do you think Tyler's back?" And I'm sitting there getting kind of emotional, going, I hope so. Like, I'm rooting for Tyler. Like, I want him. I want him to be okay.
I don't think Volk's coming back.
No, I don't.
No. If you notice in the scene with Tyler and Saru in the very beginning, Saru's threat ganglia didn't emerge.
Yeah.
If Volk was still there, if Saru had perceived a threat, and we would have seen his little threat ganglia come out, but they didn't.
Right.
So yeah, I think he's Tyler. I mean, like you said, even Tyler said, you know, he has Volk's memories.
He can access his memories, but that's it.
Yeah.
The personality is gone. Yeah.
He said there's a disconnection there, which to me means he's not gone. It's just disconnected. So
it's like being possessed and the other personality's taking over, and you're behind it all. Can't move, can't do anything, can't, you know.
Yeah.
All you can do is sit back and watch. You know?
Or now here's where I sound like a PC hardware nerd. It's like having a dual boot, you know, 2 operating systems installed on your PC, and you choose which one to boot to. You know, like the Linux boot, the Klingon boot drive, it's still there, but it's disconnected. You know, like, which to me says that, you know, there's a chance in the future that something. Oh man, I want him to be okay. I want him to be okay.
It would take something astronomical to turn Volt back on. You know what I mean? Like a major pressure situation that like Ash Tyler can't handle it anymore, and Volt.
Yes, exactly.
The test is going to be when he comes face to face with L'Rell again.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
Going to be
and if she starts speaking those Klingon trigger words, we'll see what happens.
If Volt activates, and
yeah. It's a Small World says this, and it's a really great point. Discovery's crew has changed. They went from shunning Michael to accepting Ash. It was great. Absolutely. Because isn't one of the themes of Star Trek acceptance and forgiveness?
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, that's one of the that's why I reject it when people say that the Star Trek Discovery, isn't Star Trek. That it's not talking about the things Star Trek talks about. Yes, it is. Like, are we watching the same show? Like, you know who you are out there, people. You're the ones that jump on that reply to every video we post on Exploring Star Trek Discovery about how much you hate the series. But, which is okay, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I just want to understand it. Because to me, this is exactly what Star Trek's about. You know, it's about forgiveness and acceptance and realizing that sometimes there are external factors in that with things that happen to people. And we need to take those into account when we deal with people. It's about building empathy and understanding. And this episode had that in spades. In spades. It was beautiful. And it affected me in wonderful ways, in ways that only Star Trek can affect me. And that's great. Later on in the episode, the scene between Ash Tyler and Michael Burnham. And, you know, Ash Tyler kind of lashed out because, okay, here's his chance to retain the one thing that made him Ash Tyler and not Voq. And he loses it. And she can't. And I don't blame her at all. I mean, you got to be pretty... Yeah. You know, like, she is well within her right mind rejecting Ash in that situation. But I still found me pulling for Ash. Like, no, Michael, give him a chance. Maybe. He's going to be okay. Everybody's going to be okay. Yeah.
But he tried to kill her. Well, Voq tried to kill her, and like she said, all she can feel is his hand on her throat.
Yeah, like absolutely. Like I said, she's 100% justified in her actions, and me saying that is just more me rooting for Ash instead of me kind of dumping on Michael, because Michael is 100% correct in this situation to be wary and to disconnect. I'm just pulling for my boy. Y'all know how it is.
Pulling for the underdog?
Just pulling for my boy. Tyrell Smothers. Welcome to the show, Tyrell Smothers. Because I will never understand why so many people say they hate the series, yet spend so much time watching and commenting on something they hate. Makes no sense. And I have a long-standing theory about this. The internet, specifically Facebook fan groups, weaponizes and magnifies butthurt. Excuse me, I'm coming over the Andorian flu, which is apparently just traveling the planet like wildfire. It's the internet. It's the internet. We just have to remember that the internet... Are they real? Are they just...
Are they bots?
Are they just ones and zeros? You know?
One for love, zero for hate.
How much can we... Yeah, people are people, man. Wait, hold on. Remember what the theme of this episode was. Acceptance and forgiveness. I just don't understand it. Now Tyrone continues. I wanted him to softly remind her that even though she started the war, the crew and even he accepted and forgave her. Yeah, it's It's a contradiction. It's a
That's
contradiction.
That's one argument. But
Yeah.
can,
Because I don't
can
think
also
she's. I don't
go
think
back.
she started the war. The war was going to happen regardless. It's just that she fell for the bait. And she even mentions that to Sarek in this episode. That she's made some dumb decisions, some emotional decisions. Okay, we got to talk about Sarek.
It makes you human.
Like, Sarek having a moment that was just, oh, so good. So good. And like Michael and Vernon was like saying, I made some dumb decisions. I made emotional decisions. And he, like you just said, Pat, Sarah goes, well, you are human.
You're
You
human.
are human.
Just like your mother.
Just like as is your mother. And remember what Amanda Grayson said. God, what was it? Was it to Picard after Sarek's Katra got stuck inside Picard, and he was going through all these emotions? That it may not have been, but I know it was at some point where Amanda Grayson goes, let's remember. No, she was saying it to Spock. That of course Sarek loves her. He'll never say it. But of course he does.
Yeah, he can't say it.
He can't say it. Because he's Mr. Super Vulcan. He's no. It's like, I am the living incarnation of Surak. I can't say that, but
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
He all but gave Michael a hug in this episode. And just kind of help. I wanted him to just. This is as close as he'll ever get. But I wanted him to reach over and give Michael a hug and just say, it's okay, daughter. I've got you. Never be ashamed to love someone. And, what a wonderful thing to come out of Sarek's mouth. And remember, because he is currently estranged from his son, who is half human. Sarek is a conflicted character, guys.
Just think about it. Vulcans aren't very touchy-feely people. And what does he do? He reaches out and he puts his hand on Burnham's shoulder. That's close to a Vulcan hug as you're gonna get.
That's the absolute truth, man.
That's like a Vulcan bear hug. I mean,
Feel the love, daughter. Feel the love.
It was.
and what does he say before he beams out? He says, "Don't regret loving somebody."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see. In Small Girl, Sarek was glad to have his daughter back. He thought she was dead because the Discovery was destroyed. Yep. Absolutely. Stephen Stott. Well, actually, I think Sarek tends to overcompensate for his Vulcanness because he is that guy that has a thing for humans. He does.
He ends up marrying two, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Humans are such a weird race, And whatever fantasy story, science fiction fantasy story, human beings are we are some funky monkeys. We really are. It was such a wonderful and just beautiful episode. And we haven't even talked about the rest of the plot and what Giorgio has concocted and the plan. Because all the other stuff in this episode was just so powerful and good.
True. What was the other part of the deal that she made with Sirach? Outside of the big reveal at the end. You know what I mean?
I don't know. But like I said in the beginning, Giorgio walking onto that bridge in a Starfleet uniform and Admiral Cornwell lying out her ass was fucked.
Did you see the crew? Like, no, all right. Outside of Burnham, and Saru, like the smile start popping on their faces and some of the
Yeah, she knew it, man.
I was like, what the hell?
And she straight knew it, man. She knew it. Like, man, I kind of expected her to look at Saru and go, "Get on over there, bucket of chicken." Like,
hello, or like, you know, dress him as like, hello, Commander KF Saru, you know.
right. He's right. He's looking at him and go, "Okay, report to the chef."
I'm in the mood for some Saru nuggets. Yeah.
And that speech she gave to the bridge crew, holy flip!
Man.
Actually, no, not the bridge crew, the whole crew, because it was still on ship wide. It's just, you guys are a formidable crew. I was like, I'm just tripping the whole time she's talking. It was like, what are you about to do? I mean, they gave her the rank of captain. Holy crap! I mean, your word is long. Oh hell, this is wrong.
Yeah. From the cruise, Steven says from the crew's perspective, they don't know about the deal. No, absolutely true. They have no idea what the hell's going on. They just know that they're going to drop. They're going to use a dash.
Into a planet.
Yeah, they're going to use a dash drive to jump into a giant volcanic chamber on Kronos, map the surface of the planet for military targets, jump out, and just go pew pew.
No.
which is really cool, because right before all this started happening, I looked over at my wife. It was like, this isn't the most Starfleet thing to me, but I kind of just want Starfleet to fly to Kronos and just launch every proton torpedo in the Federation at the planet. Not a very good Starfleet-esque mentality, but you can't help but feel that way sometimes, you know? And then they're going to try it. Which is fun.
I'm willing to bet, though, that quote air quotes Captain Giorgio dies next episode.
Oh yeah.
There will be.
I don't think she's gonna make it.
There will be death in this episode.
And I think Burnham's gonna kill her.
Killed her twice. Can she do it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I wonder if Giorgio gonna say, "You're gonna betray your captain 2 times."
Yep. Bang. Yep. Although
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, on a totally different note, I found it interesting. Like at the beginning of the episode, where it's Saru and Burnham and Sarek and Cornwell. They're in the conference room, and and Cornwell's like, okay, all this stuff about the mirror universe is classified. All your records will be deleted. This never happened. You will never speak of this ever again.
Yeah, and that poor transporter tech, man.
Saru tells him to be court-martialed if he says anything about what he's seen.
For treason! For treason! Oh man, could you imagine being that dude? He doesn't even look like he was the main guy on duty. He looks like he's like fresh out of the academy, working like 3rd shift. Got the crap shift, because all the senior transporter techs have the morning shift and the afternoon shift. So here he is, 2:00 in the freaking morning, barely awake, standing at the transporter console. He gets, Michael Burnham back, and then there's Giorgio, what? Not knowing any idea what the hell's going on. And here comes Saru going, you talk about this, you're going to jail for treason. Okay, boss.
Yes, sir.
I ain't seen shit.
I'm not saying nothing. Yeah. Won't say nothing.
I ain't seen shit.
Saru walks out. Yo, dude. Yo, dude. Trezone's back. What? Shut up. Don't say nothing. I don't want to go to jail, bro.
Captain Jesse Wood. Hi, Angry Joe. I ain't angry. I watched an amazing episode. I ain't angry at all. That was a great episode. I'm just having a lot of fun.
Angry Joe.
Do I seem angry? I'm just enjoying my... What? Well, I guess it happens. Maybe it's just because I'm so nasally and coffee, and because I've, like I said, the Andorian flu for the past week. Yes, Stephen. Poor fortune cookies.
So we have talked about all of the suspense and the intrigue and all of the suspense, intrigue, romance that there is. Haven't talked about the tech. So terraforming a moon, man.
Let's see. Captain Jesse wants to know what I think about Giorgio appearing onto the bridge. And I'm going to hold on a second. Almost there. Almost there. Stay on target. Almost there.
You're mixing franchises again, Joe.
Let's see. There we go. That is what I feel about Giorgio appearing on the bridge. Well, if you can't see the stream, fellas, because we're on Google Hangouts right now, I just put in big bold letters PHUCKT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's average Joe, Captain Jesse. Instead
of Angry
Joe. I mean, I have been called Angry Joe. Just ask my employees at the bookstore. Yeah. What an amazing episode. And again, we're hitting up on that hour mark right now. So, all right, let's talk about one thing we haven't talked about is Stamets being super Stamets. And what are you doing to the microphone? All right, here we go. Sorry, old Patrick there was doing something to the microphone that was blowing the audio, man.
Sorry.
The Stamets being super Stamets, and that whole like seeding the planet, the dead planet with the mycelial network, the mycelium. Dude, that was super freaking cool.
Oh, yeah. That was cool. Yeah.
Super nifty. Really, really, really cool. And you harvested everything up there to do it now. Okay, so
I'm wondering, is that how they would like terraform a planet regularly? Like not with the spores, but is that how they would terraform like any other planet? But they just happen to use the mycelial spores.
Right,
do it.
right. You know, it was a little easy to see. Telha Patel, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Another one of our regular viewers. Welcome back. It did seem a little convenient how quickly it grew, but I'm okay with it because Star Trek, you know. And one of the things that happens in classic Trek, as Steven mentions in the very next comment in the chat room, is sometimes that's just the way it works. You know, when they get together and they science the hell out of something and do some amazing, awesome, scientific, super science wizardry, you know, I'm cool with it. I'm really cool with it. Now, this does very interesting situations because we just talked about last week about how the main reason they probably won't ever use the dash drive again is because the chance to corrupt the mycelial network. And I guess maybe I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. We'll see. I know it was really cool and it looked beautiful. And these transport pods sitting down and then, you know, spinning the electromagnetic energy down into the planet to kind of stimulate growth. And it just looked beautiful and it was colorful and amazing and it just made me feel happy and it made me feel like I was watching classic Star Trek. I loved it. I loved it. I loved every. I'm not gonna lie. I'm such a Discovery gusher. It's a little ridiculous. You know, I'm hoping I can maintain my objectivity without this episode, but at the same about this series. But at the same time, I don't want to. I want to get on here and I don't want to be hypercritical. I just want to get on here and talk about really cool Star Trek shit. And this episode and this series is bringing it in spades. Spades.
Yep, I agree. I'll go out on a. Well, I don't think it's much of a limb. It's the best first season of a Trek show ever. I think.
I would absolutely agree with that. So we just hit the 1 hour mark on our little foray here for episode 14, The War Without, The War Within. This was an amazing episode. So we're going to send it out to chat. All right, guys, 1 to 10. 1 being Spock's brain and Warp 10 salamanders. 10 being the best of both worlds. You know, City on the Edge of Forever. Inner Light, you know, the Dogs of War, like the best Trek episodes. Where would this episode lie on that continuum? And while the chat is speeding that information out, Kevin, we'll start with you. Your final thoughts and your little mini review of this episode. Go.
Oh, I'll give it a 9. Last week was a big, you know, action, you know, on the edge of your seat, you know, hoorah, kind of, you know, guns blazing episode.
It was.
This was this week's was much more. I don't want to say subdued, but they're getting a chance to. They're getting a chance. They got a chance to catch their breath, and they're dealing with the emotional. Consequences of some of the things that have happened to them and over the last few episodes that they haven't been able to deal with because they've been caught up in survival mode.
Right.
So all in all, I'll give it a good solid 9.
Right. Nice.
Looking forward to next week's the season finale. It's gonna be a wild ride, I think.
Right. All right. Cool deal. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get a couple of Ozzy NF gives it a 6.5. Captain Jesse a 10. It's a Small World an 8. Pat, what you got?
I give it a 9. I mean, I agree with Kevin. It wasn't a big hoorah. I'm still using that. I'll laugh at that, but it wasn't the Wild West shoot 'em up that last week's episode was. This was more of a mental. This was more of a mental hoorah for us viewers, man, because redemption, like I said at the beginning of the show, redemption for Ash Tyler. The cool sciencey stuff by terraforming more of the spores, and then the big what the hell moment with Shoujo walking onto the bridge, looking smug as hell, and the show ending with that point. You're just going, what? So I agree with Kevin. Looking forward to the season finale. It's going to be a wild ride. I still say someone is going to die. It's important. Someone's going to drop.
Right.
And can't wait to find out who it is. So
I say Saru kills Captain quote unquote Giorgio.
Ooh, nice prediction.
I'll throw that prediction out there.
Nice prediction. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Next on the chat, let's see. Uh-oh. It kind of let me pull it up. I need noes. There we go. All right. Let's see. Talha Patel, 7.5. Felt it was prepped for next week. I'm more hopeful for the finale. Steven Stott, give it a 9.5. Only reason it's not a 10 because the Sergeant Major in him was going crazy over the lax in uniform wear of this episode. I noticed that too. Tyrell Smothers, 9.3. I'm going to give it, just to be intellectually honest with, okay, yes, the reference to Jonathan Archer and the X-01, oh my God, I squeed so hard, I think I pulled a muscle. Like,
that was awesome. Yeah.
We can't have an episode with someone mission.
I got tingly in my hashtag Trekkie parts.
Just to keep it going, nerdy squee.
Absolutely.
and yes, hashtag Trekrection.
Absolutely. So to be actually honest, because the last two episodes were so completely amazing, I feel that they have set the bar for the episode, and because the bar for the previous episode by the episode ends was set so high, I kind of have to be intellectually honest and give this one like an 8.5. Not because the episode was bad, but because that bar was set last episode. So, reference points and all that kind of stuff. But that's not.
You came down to earth?
No. Like I said, I just now have a reference point. Mm-hmm. Kind of didn't have a reference point before, and I feel like after last week's episode, we now have a reference point. So I'm not dogging the episode by any shape, means, or way. Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff.
Couldn't think of anything else, huh?
No, like I've done nothing but gush at how awesome this episode is for the last hour. Trying to kind of rein it all in. I just want to say that this episode was everything that Star Trek is supposed to be about. The themes of acceptance and forgiveness and learning from your mistakes and moving on and man, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Like I said, I got emotional in a few parts of this episode. Maybe a little tear rolled down my cheek once or twice. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. We're absolutely going to get a cliffhanger from season 1 to 2. You have to, because this is serialized long form storytelling now as opposed to episodic. It's just the way it is, and it's Trek. Trek does that shit all the time.
Okay, before we sign off, you kick that door open, so I'm just gonna roll with it.
Uh-oh.
You said we're gonna get a cliffhanger, so we've already done multiverse. What could happen? Could Discovery not make it off Kronos? I mean, what could happen?
Yeah, I think something like that will happen. That we did that the fate of the Discovery crew is going to be, you know, on the line, or maybe because remember, while the attack on Kronos is happening, what is the Klingon fleet doing?
Heading towards Earth.
They're attacking the Sol system. I mean, 100 AU's out. That's what the somebody test my astronomy down there, but that's within the Oort cloud, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Starbase 1 is in Sol system.
1 AU is the distance from the sun to the Earth. So yeah,
100 AU's is well within the Oort cloud.
It's like how far is the Earth from sun? Is it 93
million miles? Yeah.
Say that times 100.
9.3 billion.
9.3 billion miles.
Yeah, so that's
we're not far outside of the Oort cloud.
Yeah, I mean that's practically that's within the heliosphere of Sol system, which means that is definitely within the Sol system. So they have already claimed a starbase in our star system. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So they're going to make it. So while we're assaulting Kronos, they're going to be assaulting Earth. So maybe that's going to be our cliffhanger. So okay, we were really good. We got Kronos, but
head back to Earth. You head back to Earth, and there's a giant scar across the planet.
A la Enterprise.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So many possibilities. So many possibilities. And I can't wait to find out. You know what else is awesome? The people that hang out in our chat room. You guys are great. Most of y'all are here every single episode, and you people are awesome. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Star Trek Discovery. We are going to be back next week with the season finale, and it's going to be bittersweet. But the show's not going to end after that. We're gonna keep on exploring some Star Trek here at Explore Star Trek Discovery, waiting for new discovery. So we'll see what's gonna go on down that way, but we ain't going anywhere, y'all, because this is too much fun. So thank you all very much for watching. I am Average Joe, the Average Geek, and of course I'm speaking for my wonderful bridge crew. That both of them were here on time today. Kevin Stallings, Pat Whitehead, thank you very much. And as always, live long and prosper.
Long and prosper.